And a story developing right now. Former leader in the Houston archdiocese is now accused of sexual misconduct with a wealthy Houston businesswoman.
And Cardinal Daniel DiNardo is accused of covering it up. Shernmin Chow is in our newsroom now with a closer look. Shernmin.
Yeah, Rick and Jason, this also, well, it sounds like a soap opera, and the lead players are prominent names here. Longtime Houstonians will be familiar with Father Frank Rossi, a Monsignor, a Chancellor, a Vicar General of the Archdiocese, and for many years also the face of the church locally as a spokesperson. The Associated Press broke this story, saying that the accuser, Laura Pontikis, a co-founder of Satterwhite Pontikis, a $500 million a year construction firm, claims that Rossi did spiritual and marriage counseling for her, and that during a 2012 session, he began a physical relationship that led to sex. The church claims that relationship was never consummated.
He took a woman that went into a church truly looking for God, and he took me for himself.
The Pontikis say Cardinal DiNardo promised them that Father Frank would never be a pastor or counsel women again, but a few months later, he was transferred to a new assignment in Woodville, Texas. He is now on leave pending the outcome of a criminal investigation. So, what does the husband, Mr. Pontikis, have to say? We will hear from him at 5, and it is surprising. Plus, how millions of dollars were also involved in this relationship between the Pontikis and the church. Back to y'all.
Shernmin, thank you so much. Flying milk